What happened to Olivia? Was Olivia kidnapped? Will Jake be able to find Olivia? Did Poppa Pope have something to do with Olivia's disappearance? Or was it the vice president? We don't know, but we're sure to find out next on my review of Scandal. What is up, my fellow gladiators? This is Tanisha, your girl, the Atlanta makeup artist, coming to you again. We've been waiting and finally Scandal and How to Get Away with Murder have come back on. So yes, Miss Shonda Rhimes, please give me life. Please give me life. And she did, honey. So last night we opened up with Scandal. Olivia is running towards this red door, just running, hair looking wild. Now mind you, Olivia's hair is normally on point, but at this point in time, her hair was all wild, and you know, that blowout had blew away and all kind of stuff, honey. So she's just running. So then we find out why she was running. So if you remember back last season, not last season, but last episode, flashback to when Olivia and Jake were in the living room. Olivia was like, you know, I don't want to choose between you or Fitz. I want both of you all. I want Vermont with Fitz. I want in the sun with you. So I'm not going to choose. Basically, she was saying I want to sleep with both of y'all because both of y'all is the business. But anyway, so, you know, if you remember back in the episode, her and Jake were getting ready to engage in adult relations. Yeah, that's the way I like to say it. Adult relations. And he told her that he would be back because he's going to go get a pillow so they could do whatever they're going to do on top of the piano. They so freaky. Anyway, so while he's back there getting a pillow, some people came in and kidnapped Olivia. It was some men dressed in all black come in and kidnap Olivia. Now, when Jake comes back out of the back room, Jake's like, Olivia, where are you? And he sees her wine turned over on the couch. No sign of her whatsoever. He runs out of the house in his boxers looking for her. A car over into the distance starts up, speeds off. He thinks it's the car that she's in and has been abducted. The person who abducted her has taken her and put her in his car. So he's remembering the license plate. He's calling Huck. He's calling Quinn. Hey, Olivia's been kidnapped. This is the license plate number of the car that has done it. I need, you know, look, we need to do something about the situation. All the while Jake is doing all of this, the person who kidnapped Olivia actually took her right directly across the hall from where Olivia lives into this elderly lady's apartment. But they're covering Olivia's mouth and telling everyone to be quiet so Olivia can't scream out, you know, for Jake. And even when Jake comes back in the house and gets his clothes on and leaves back out to go try and find Olivia, they still have her mouth covered so she can't scream and let Jake know, look, I'm across the hall in this apartment. Come save me. So basically, once we go to the scene over across the hall at the older lady's apartment where Olivia has been kidnapped to, these guys in black are basically orchestrating this plan. But it was really weird because while Olivia was being held by one of her abductors, there was a ring on the floor, and she took the ring and put the ring under the rug with her foot. So I'm thinking that's going to be a clue in the future episodes of some sort. So the guys in black, some of them take their masks off their head. So the old lady who was the owner of this apartment, she's sitting on the couch, and she messes around and says their name and gets a look at their face. So they shoot her. You already know. Once you done seen the perpetrator's face, yeah, your chances of dying have just greatly increased. They don't want to be caught. And you can definitely positively identify them. So anyway, after she's been shot, two of the people who are also in on the plan are dressed up like EMT workers. So they're transporting her out of the old lady, allegedly, the dead old lady, out of the apartment into the ambulance. But they snuck Olivia in up under her also in the same body bag, which was awkward. I don't want to be up under somebody who's dead. So basically they get Olivia in the back of this ambulance, and then they pull the dead old lady out and they pull Olivia out. And one of the kidnappers was like, you know, we're asking for money. Why are you not begging for your life? So Olivia, being who she is, the HBIC, she's like, look, none of you are in charge. The person back there in my apartment is in charge. So why am I going to beg any of you all for help or to let me go or anything? She was like, because everything you all did back in my apartment, you looked at this other person for approval. So you're not in charge. I mean, she was steady. She always stayed telling somebody off. So again, she was telling the man off. So the man got mad and he was like, okay then. Hit her in the side of the neck with some kind of drug. Knocked her out, right? She wakes up. The next scene, she wakes up and she's in a cell with no windows, just small openings around to let in a small amount of sunlight. And there's another prisoner in there with her. So they hear, like outside, you know, she's like, as soon as she wakes up, she starts asking this other prisoner questions. She's like, you know, where are we? Have you heard anything going on around us? You know, he's like, all I heard was an Islamic prayer going on outside. The other prisoner is like, we're gonna die. He's just really hyping the situation up. He says, you know, before there was another person who had been kidnapped and the kidnappers wanted ransom money and he was ransomed for $10 million. You know, he was just really hyping it up like there was another third person that existed at some point in time. That'll be key later. Hold on to that bit of information. So anyway, so she's led out of the room to the bathroom. Then she's led out of the room to the bathroom. The bathroom is like totally nasty. She comes back to her cell where that same other prisoner is. His name is Ian. She keeps asking him about any noises that he's heard in an effort to find out where they are. Has he heard any dogs barking, any doors, any cars? She's basically trying to find out where in the hell do y'all have me at? So the other guys, you know, like, again, he lied about that third prisoner that allegedly existed by the name of Bradley and how the third prisoner was shot and dragged out into the street and, you know, just painted this vivid picture of what could possibly happen to Olivia if she doesn't comply. Now, keep in mind, he's doing this while he's in the room with her as his cellmate, as her cellmate. So Olivia looks him in the eye and is like, I'm going to save us both. Now, how's she going to save us both? I don't know. But she's like, I'm going to save us both. And he asks, like, how? She's like, because I'm Olivia Pope. Dun, dun, dun. So they both retire to eating their prison food. You know, they're both like, you know, it's not that bad. It's not good, but it's not that bad either. So pan to the next scene. Olivia and this other prisoner, Ian, are talking in the cell again. So, you know, he's looking over her back and down her neck. And he's like, he's looking for a tracking device to see if anyone has placed a tracking device on her or under her skin. So Olivia's like, if, you know, her father could have possibly put one up under her skin. But if he did, he's not even going to come and look for her because they're not on good terms. Because if you remember last episode or a few episodes before, Olivia and her father fell out. I mean, completely. She was going to shoot him and everything. So he's basically asking who would have put a device in you. And, you know, she's like, look, if I'm missing, the president of the United States of America is going to come looking for me. And he will not stop until he finds me. So he's like, oh. So she goes to the restroom again. And she sees a window in this restroom. So she takes the wire from up under her bra and manipulates it to where it can kind of go out the window and lift up the lock on the window so she can get out. But before she's able to escape, the kidnappers rush into the restroom. They see her trying to escape. They pull her down. They take her back into her cell. And basically they're like, look, we're going to punish you because of what you've done. But they've been given instructions not to hurt her per se, but they're going to do stuff to mess with her. So what they do is they come in, they take the other prisoner guy that I had spoken about before, they take him out of the room. He's screaming, he's yelling. Next thing you know, blah, blah, blah. All you hear is gunshots and a body drop. Boom. So they've killed the other prisoner who by now she has gotten to be friends with, and that's the only person who she has been dealing with since she's been locked away in this cell. So the next scene is Olivia opens up her eyes while she's laying on the floor of this cell. And while she's laying on this floor of the cell, she hears gunshots. She hears a lot of uproar outside the door of her cell. Next thing you know, who comes busting through the door? Jake has come to rescue her. Then she recognizes it was all a dream. So she wakes up in a bed in the house that her and Fitz had went to go see in Vermont. So next thing you know, she's in the shower. And who comes and gets into the shower with her? Fitz. So then after that, she's walking around this big, nice, lovely house. She opens up the refrigerator for jam, that she's now making jam. That's what she does for a living. Fitz is the mayor of the city in which they stay in right now. Then she's outside walking, and out of nowhere comes Abby, and Abby is talking to her and saying how nothing makes sense and how no one is going to help her and how she's got to save herself and she's the only gladiator and she has to do it. And then Fitz's Secret Service agent, I don't know if you remember him, but I think his name is Todd. He comes and he's saying, you know, you're not going to get out of here. You're just going to be stuck here forever. And lo and behold, all of that from the time that she was laying on the floor up until now was a dream. She was just dreaming. She was still locked away in that cell. She wasn't in Vermont. She wasn't in the shower. Jake didn't come rescue her. Abby didn't, you know, come talk to her, and the Secret Service agent was nowhere to be found. But the Secret Service, Abby in her dream told her, you dropped something. And it was some kind of like tightening gasket that goes around a pipe. I didn't catch it at first, but later on I did. So once after all this dream had taken place of Olivia having this dream, she's back in her jail cell, and she's being back and forth, led to the bathroom, led to the bathroom, led to the bathroom. So again, she takes the wire from up under her bra to try and get out of the bathroom by way of this window. But when she looks up at the window, they've bricked the whole entire window to where now the window no longer exists. She's crying, bawling, thinking that her only opportunity of escaping has now been destroyed because they've bricked and mortared up this window. So she falls onto the floor, and she realizes she just might be stuck there for the rest of her life. So while she's sitting on the floor crying, she gathers her senses and she looks over up under the sink, and she sees a pipe, and she sees one of those tightening gaskets, the same kind that Abby mentioned to her that she had dropped on the ground in her dream, and she sees it on that pipe. So that was just basically her subconscious talking to her. There's this pipe up under the sink. She gets the pipe from up under the sink. So when the gentleman lets her out of the bathroom, he's talking. And keep in mind, the people who had kidnapped her, they all had weapons on their hips. So when she comes out of the bathroom this time, you know, he's saying something to her. But out of nowhere, she just, wow, hits him in the head. Keeps hitting him. Wow, wow. Takes his gun and takes the keys off of his hip. She strikes out running, which kind of takes us back to the beginning when she was running towards the red door. So as she's running towards the red door with keys and gun in hand, another one of the kidnappers comes out in front of her. So remember she hit the other guy? She has his gun pointed at this second kidnapper. And he's like, you're not going to shoot me. He's like, that's a man's tool. If you were going to shoot me, you would have shot me by now. So Olivia's slowly stepping back, and he kept stepping forward. So when he said that's a man's tool, you don't know how to use it or something like that, next thing I know, pow, shot him right in the middle of the head. I mean, Olivia is a good shot. She shot that dude right in the middle of the head. Needless to say, he died. So she strikes out running with the gun in her hand, the keys in her hand, which is the same scene from the very beginning of this episode. And she gets to the door. And there's about like 4 locks on this door. So she's unlocking them all, looking back at the two dead kidnappers, making sure nobody has gotten up. She unlocks them, unlocks them, unlocks them. So you think she getting ready to get out, get wherever she's going to be, like out in the city or be able to escape. The doors open up. She's in another room. And in this room is a big movie projector of a movie playing, of a scene of a city with noises. But it's still another room in this building. So it was like a movie was playing over there to make it seem like there was sounds or there was, you know, livelihood outside of where she was locked into behind that red door. So out of nowhere comes, guess who? The guy who she had spent all this time with in the cell, who she thought was her friend, who she thought was a prisoner, who she thought got drugged out and killed, comes out of nowhere. Fully dressed, looking nice now. Come to find out, he's one of the masterminds behind the kidnapping. He's one of the kidnappers. It was really just like, this episode of Scandal was really like, you was just trying to figure it out. That's all you can say. I could say you just trying to figure it out. So if you get a chance, go back and watch it if you have on demand, if you have Charter, Comcast, whatever your cable company is. Go back and watch it if you have an opportunity to. But this has been my review of it. And I hope I've helped you understand what is taking place. So until next Thursday, gladiators, hugs from afar. And I'll see you later, okay? Bye.